Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Englo Talks. I'm so happy you're here with us today.
Hey everyone, it's great to be back with you. I hope you're ready for a fun and useful lesson today.
Me too. And honestly, today's topic is one of those topics that sounds small, but it can completely change how natural your English sounds.
Absolutely. We're talking about how to use either, neither, and rather in real English conversation.
Yes, and by the end of this episode, you'll know how to use these words in daily life, how to respond naturally, and how to sound much more confident when you speak.
You'll also learn the differences between them, common mistakes, and the kinds of sentences native speakers use all the time.
So, if you've ever felt confused by these words, don't worry, you're in the right place.
And here's a question for you. Which one do you use more often right now? Either, neither, or rather? Comment your answer below.
Yes, please write it in the comments. We always love reading your answers and seeing how you're learning with us.
And if you enjoy simple English lessons like this one, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Englo Talks so you never miss an episode.
All right, let's start with the basics and make this super easy.
Great idea. Let's jump into the first part and build a strong foundation together.
Okay, so let's begin with either. Either is often used when we are talking about two choices or two options. A very simple way to think about it is one or the other, but not both.
Right. For example, you can say, you can choose either tea or coffee. That means you have two choices. You can pick tea or you can pick coffee.
Exactly. Another easy example is either answer is okay. That means both answers are acceptable, but you only need to choose one of them.
Or we can say, you can sit on either side of the table. There are two sides and both are fine.
So the basic idea is very simple. Either usually connects two choices. You're not talking about three things or five things, just two.
Let's give a few more examples for listeners. Either phone is good. You can either call me or text me. Either way is fine.
I love either way is fine because people use it all the time in daily conversation. For example, if someone says, "Do you want to go by car or by bike?" you can say, "Either way is fine."
Nice, and that sounds natural. Now let's talk about neither. Neither means not one and not the other. So if either is about two choices, neither is about two choices too, but the meaning is negative.
Yes, for example, neither answer is correct. That means the first answer is not correct, and the second answer is not correct either.
Or I like neither option. That means I don't like option 1 and I don't like option 2.
A very common daily sentence is neither of them is available. So maybe you want two shirts in a shop, but both are sold out. You can say neither of them is available.
And that brings us to a very important point. Either and neither are often used with two things, but their meaning is different. Either is positive or neutral choice. Neither is negative.
Right. Now, let's make this more real. Imagine you're at a restaurant and the waiter says, "Do you want soup or salad?" You say, "Either is fine." That means you're okay with both options.
But if the waiter asks, "Do you want soup or fish?" and you don't want either one, you can say, "Neither, thanks."
Very natural, and that short answer is very useful. People really do say neither thanks in casual conversation.
Now let's add a rather. Rather is a little different. It often shows preference. When you say rather, you're saying, I prefer this one.
For example, "I'd rather stay home tonight." That means I prefer staying home instead of going out.
Or, I'd rather have tea than coffee. That means tea is my preference.
That phrase, "I'd rather," is very common. It is short for "I would rather." Native speakers use it all the time.
So if you want to sound natural, remember these simple ideas. Either means one of two options, neither means not one and not the other, and rather means preference.
That's the main idea. Keep it simple and you're already ahead.
Now let's go a little deeper and see how these words work in real conversation.
Great. Let's connect the grammar to real English so it becomes easy to use naturally. Now that we know the basic meaning, let's look at how these words show up in real life. This is where the learning becomes practical.
Yes, because grammar is useful only when you can actually speak with it. So let's see how either, neither, and rather fit into everyday situations.
First, let's talk about either in choice situations. A lot of times people use either when they are not making a strong preference. They are simply saying both choices are possible.
For example, if a friend asks, should we meet on Monday or Tuesday? You can say, Either day works for me. That sounds polite and easy.
Or if someone asks, do you want to study at home or at the library, you can say either place is fine. That's very natural.
Now compare that with rather. Rather is stronger. It shows a clear preference.
For example, I'd rather study at home than at the library. That means home is my first choice.
So either is like both are okay. Rather is like I prefer this one.
I like that difference because it helps you choose the right word in conversation. Imagine you're talking to a friend who wants to make a plan.
The friend says, "Do you want pizza or burgers?" If you don't care, you say either is fine. If you really want pizza, you say I'd rather have pizza.
Exactly. That's a real conversation, and people say these things all the time.
Now, let's move to neither in another situation. Suppose a friend shows you two shirts and asks, which one do you like? But you don't like either one.
You can say, neither shirt looks good to me, or even shorter, neither one.
That short answer is very common. In daily conversation, people often drop words when the meaning is clear.
Another useful pattern is neither A nor B. For example, I want neither coffee nor tea. That means I want no coffee and no tea.
That structure sounds a little formal, but it's still useful, especially in writing or careful speech.
And speaking of formal versus informal, here's a simple note. Either and neither are common in both everyday and more formal English, but rather, especially in I'd rather, feels very natural in speech.
Right. I'd rather not go is very conversational. In a formal report, you probably wouldn't use that as much, but in real speaking, it's perfect.
Here's a small dialogue to show the difference. I'll be the friend.
And I'll answer.
Do you want to watch a movie or go for a walk?
Either sounds good to me.
Really? I'd rather go for a walk.
Okay, then let's do that.
Nice. That's a normal conversation. Nothing difficult, just natural English.
Another important thing is using either in negative sentences. We say, I don't like either of them. This means I dislike both choices.
Yes, and many beginners confuse that with I like either of them, which is not correct in that meaning. Either usually needs a clear choice structure.
Right, so if you want to express that you don't like both, say, I don't like either of them. If you want to express that you don't like one and not the other, neither is often the better choice.
Let's do a quick practice activity. I'll give a situation and you choose the best word in your mind. Ready?
Ready.
Situation 1. You are invited to dinner and both restaurants are fine. What do you say?
Either restaurant is fine.
Good. Situation 2. Someone offers you coffee or tea, but you want something else.
Neither, thanks.
Great. Situation 3. You are tired and want to rest instead of going out.
I'd rather stay home.
Excellent. Now a few tips. First, think about the number of choices. Either and neither usually talk about two choices. Second, decide if the meaning is positive, negative, or preference. Third, listen to real conversation and repeat the patterns.
Those are great tips. And listeners, here's your comment challenge. Write a sentence using I'd rather about your real life today. Maybe, I'd rather drink tea, or I'd rather sleep early.
I love that idea. Write your sentence in the comments so we can see how you use it.
To review this section, either is about two choices that are both possible. Neither is about two choices that are both rejected. And rather shows preference.
Perfect. That summary makes it much easier to remember.
Now, let's go one step further and talk about how these words sound more natural in everyday speaking.
Great. That's the next level, and it's really useful for real conversation practice. Let's begin with rather again because it has a few very common patterns. One of the most common is I'd rather not. This is a polite way to say no.
Exactly. And this is where a lot of learners start sounding more native-like. They stop translating word by word and start using the phrase that fits the situation.
Let's begin with rather again because it has a few very common patterns. One of the most common is I'd rather not. This is a polite way to say no.
For example, do you want to join us tonight?
I'd rather not.
That sounds softer than saying no directly.
Right. It's polite, calm, and natural. Another example. Would you like to eat spicy food? I'd rather not. My stomach is sensitive today.
That's a great real-life answer. It shows preference without sounding rude.
Now let's compare it with direct speech. I don't want to go is simple, but I'd rather not go sounds a little gentler.
Yes, and that's important in daily conversation. Sometimes English is not just about meaning, it's about tone.
Exactly. Tone matters. If you say, I don't want to go, it can sound strong. If you say, I'd rather not go, it sounds more polite and friendly.
Let's use neither in another natural way. We often use neither when agreeing with a negative sentence. For example, I'm not hungry. Neither am I.
That's so useful. Another example, I can't swim. Neither can I. Or, I didn't like the ending. Neither did I.
These are very common in conversation. You will hear them in movies, in podcasts, and in everyday English.
Here's a little dialogue. I don't like cold weather. Neither do I. I prefer warm days.
That sounds natural and friendly.
Great. And for either, there is also a common structure with either or. For example, you can either call me or send me a message.
That's very useful in everyday life. Either can go with a choice between two actions.
Another example, you either come with us or you stay here. That sounds a bit stronger, but it's still correct.
Yes, and that structure is useful when you need to present two clear options.
Now, let's talk about how to be natural with rather than. This phrase is also very common. For example, I'd rather read a book than watch TV.
Or you can say, she'd rather walk than drive. That shows a clear preference between two actions.
In a more formal sentence, you might say, I prefer reading books to watching TV. That's also correct.
So here's the difference. I prefer reading books to watching TV sounds a little more formal and structured. I'd rather read a book than watch TV sounds more natural in speech.
Exactly. Both are useful, you just choose based on the situation.
Let's do a quick mini practice. I'll say a situation and you answer with the best phrase.
Good idea. Situation 1. Your friend offers you soda, but you want water.
I'd rather have water.
Good. Situation 2. Someone says, I'm not ready yet.
Neither am I.
Situation 3. You're asked, do you want the red pen or the blue pen? Either one is fine.
Perfect. You're getting it.
Now, a useful tip. First, listen for the number of choices. Second, notice the feeling. Is it a choice, a rejection, or a preference? Third, practice the full phrase, not just the single word.
That's a strong point. Learners often study only the word and forget the phrase. But in real English, the phrase is what matters most.
Yes, and please remember this. Do not worry about sounding perfect immediately. Speak slowly, repeat the pattern, and build confidence.
And listeners, try this now out loud. I'd rather, and complete the sentence with your own real-life choice.
Write one example in the comments, too. We'd love to see your practice sentences.
To review this section, rather can show polite refusal, personal preference, or comparison between two things.
Neither can be used in negative agreement. Either can be used in choice patterns like either or.
Great summary. That gives learners a strong, natural speaking base. Now that we've covered the useful patterns, let's look at the mistakes people make so you can avoid them.
Yes, and honestly, mistakes are part of learning. We've all made them. Even native speakers sometimes use things loosely in conversation. Let's talk about some common mistakes, because these are the things that confuse learners the most.
And don't worry, we're going to make this simple and even a little funny so it's easy to remember.
First common mistake, using either when there are more than two choices. For example, you can choose either apple, banana, or orange. That sounds wrong because either is usually for two choices, not three.
Better version, you can choose apple, banana, or orange. Or if there are only two options, then say you can choose either apple or banana.
Exactly. So remember, either is for two. If there are three or more, use different wording.
Second mistake, using neither in a positive sentence. For example, I neither like tea. That sounds incomplete and incorrect.
Right. Why is it wrong? Because neither already has a negative meaning and usually needs a pair or a full structure. Better say, I don't like tea, or I like neither tea nor coffee.
Good. Another common mistake is saying, I don't like neither tea nor coffee. That is a double negative style, and in standard English, it is not the best choice for this lesson.
Yes, the clearer version is I like neither tea nor coffee, or I don't like either tea or coffee. Both can work depending on the structure, but you should be careful.
Third mistake, confusing rather with rather than. Some learners say, I'd rather than go home. That is not correct.
The correct sentence is I'd rather go home, or I'd rather go home than stay here. The than comes after the second action in a comparison.
Exactly. So remember, I'd rather by itself can end the sentence, and then is used when you compare two actions.
Fourth mistake, using neither to answer a positive question. For example, someone asks, do you want tea? And you say, neither. That can sound strange if the situation is not clear.
Better to say no thanks or neither thanks if the options are already known.
Here's a funny example. Imagine someone says, do you want rice or noodles? And you say, neither, because I'm pizza today. That sounds funny and wrong, but it helps you remember that neither needs a clear context.
Yes, the brain sometimes invents strange sentences when it's confused.
Let's do a quick correction practice. I'll say the wrong sentence and you think of the correct one.
Okay, wrong sentence. 1. You can choose either of these 3 books.
Better sentence. You can choose one of these 3 books, or you can choose either of these 2 books.
Wrong sentence. I'd rather than watch TV.
Better sentence. I'd rather watch TV.
Wrong sentence. I neither like this movie.
Better sentence. I don't like this movie, or I like neither this movie nor that movie.
Great. And now the important message. Mistakes are normal. They do not mean you are bad at English. They mean you are learning.
Yes, absolutely. Every learner makes these mistakes at first. The good news is that once you notice them, you can fix them quickly.
So keep practicing, listen to examples, and repeat the correct patterns.
And write your own sentence in the comments if you want feedback from us. We'd love to help.
That's the end of our mistakes section. And now you're much more prepared to use either, neither, and rather carefully and naturally.
Let's make this fun now with a choose the correct sentence activity. Ready?
Ready. This is a great way to test your understanding.
Situation 1. You don't care whether you have coffee or tea. Which is correct? A. Either is fine. B. Neither is fine.
The correct answer is A. Either is fine, because you are okay with both choices.
Situation 2. You dislike both of the options. Which is better? A. Either one works. B. Neither one works.
The correct answer is B. Neither one works. You are rejecting both choices.
Situation 3. You want to stay home instead of going out. Which sentence is best? A. I'd rather stay home. B. I either stay home.
The correct answer is A. I'd rather stay home.
Situation 4. Someone says, I'm tired. You also feel tired. Which is correct? A. Neither am I. B. Either am I.
The correct answer is A. Neither am I.
Situation 5. You're given 2 pens and both are okay. Which sounds natural? A. Either pen is fine. B. Rather pen is fine.
The correct answer is A. Either pen is fine.
Great. Now speak these answers out loud. Don't just think them. Saying them helps your mouth get used to the English pattern.
And try changing the tone, too. I'd rather not can sound polite. I'd rather go now can sound casual and simple. Tone is a big part of natural English.
Challenge time. Make your own sentence using either, neither, and rather. Use a real situation from your life, not just a textbook sentence.
That's the best practice, because real-life English sticks in your memory much better than random grammar drills.
And remember, you do not need perfection. You need practice, confidence, and repetition.
Exactly. Real conversation matters more than perfect grammar every single time.
Wow, today we covered a lot, and I hope you feel more confident now using either, neither, and rather in real English.
Yes, we learned three big ideas. Either for two choices, neither for negative choice or agreement, and rather for preference and polite speaking.
And we also looked at common mistakes, natural patterns, and real conversation examples that you can actually use today.
If this lesson helped you, keep practicing with your own examples. The more you use these words, the more natural they'll feel.
And don't forget, learning English is a journey. Every small step matters. Every sentence you say is progress.
So keep going. Speak out loud. Repeat the examples. Use these words in your daily life.
Now, tell us in the comments which one is easiest for you now, either, neither, or rather.
And also write one sentence of your own. We read your comments and we love seeing your practice.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to Englo Talks for more simple English lessons, daily conversation practice, and confidence-building episodes.
Thank you so much for learning with us today. We're really happy to be part of your English journey.
Keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep believing in yourself.
See you next time.